land and grab a Mozam and a helmet and get instantly sent back to the lobby? Yeah, we've all been there. Surviving in Apex Legends is not just about having cracked aim. It's about how smart you play. So today I'm breaking down 7 essential tips that will actually help you live longer and get to the ring more often and avoid those early game rage quits. If you've ever wondered why you keep dying early or how some players survive to the late game, this guide is for you. Let's get into it. Tip number 1, drop smarter. Let's start with your drop. This is where many players lose games before they even touch the ground. Everyone loves the hot drop in popular spots like Fragment, Estates, or Labs. Yeah, those places might have great loot, but if you're new or want to survive longer, dropping in the middle of action can be a quick death sentence. Instead, learn to drop just outside hot zones. These edge zones have decent loot and fewer enemies. Places like Launchpad, outskirts, or smaller compounds near big POIs are perfect. I remember one time where I dropped right at the edge of Fragment, looted for about 45 seconds, and rotated smoothly while the rest of my squad was caught fighting in the busiest area. I survived longer because I avoided early chaos. By avoiding crowded drops, you have more time to loot, strategize, and rotate. Plus, fewer early fights means fewer chances of getting third party. I see a common mistake that many players do is when they panic and jump right into the biggest fight every single game. If you're dying too fast, try switching up your drop spots. But what if my squad insists on hot dropping? Well, if you're with friends, communicate your plan. If they don't listen, sometimes you have to adapt. But remember, you control your survival by playing smart. Tip number 2, loot with a purpose, right? Next up, looting, right? Sounds simple, right? But no, so many players waste valuable time grabbing every little thing just to end up without solid loadout. Your goal should be clear. Get a balanced weapon combo, armor, and heal fast. This is how you do it. Grab a close range weapon first, something like a R9, maybe like a Peacekeeper or a Massive, right? Pair that with a mid-range long-range gun, like a R3, Flatline, yeah, and prioritize shield batteries, cells, and at least a couple stacks of syringes and medkits. The reason this matters is because if you spend too much time looting, you'll miss fights. You get caught rotating late or be stuck with weak gear. A common mistake I've seen players make is spending too long debating attachments or optics while their squad is pushing a fight without them. Don't be that guy. Loot fast, decide fast, and move on. Well, what if I don't find good weapons fast? That's when positioning and teamwork help. Stick close to your squad and try to share loot. If you have bad weapons, stay safe and wait for better opportunities. Here's another tip. Mid-fight shield swapping is huge. If you find a death box with purple and gold shield, grab it. Even if yours isn't fully broken, better to have some shield than none. Tip number 3, you have to stick with your squad. Apex is a team game. Going solo to chase kills or loot alone often ends with an early death. Even if you queue with randoms, stick close. You don't need to be right on top of each other, but you should be within a few seconds sprint. One time I split from my squad chasing a kill and I got knocked instantly. My teammates couldn't help because they were too far away. I learned that day sticking with your team is survival. This works because Apex damage is high, but coordinated pushes and revives turn fights. A lone player can get overwhelmed fast. Another common mistake I see players make when they think they can carry by running solo. Unless you're a pro god, it usually ends badly. But what if my teammates are bad or don't communicate? Use a ping system. It's super effective even without a mic. Also, follow their movement and don't push fights alone. Sometimes survival means waiting for your squad to be ready. Tip number 4, you have to rotate early. Rotations decide late game survival more than fights. Once the ring appears, start planning your movement immediately. Don't wait for zone to close before running. Why? Early rotation helps so you can avoid being caught in the open, so you can get better positioning, so you can secure high ground or safe cover before enemies arrive. Another common mistake I see players make is when they loot for too long or heal in the open during rotations and get third party. Instead, use Legends abilities to rotate faster, like Octane's jump pad, Pathfinder's zipline. What if the rotation path is through open areas? Try to move along edges behind rocks or buildings. If you must cross open areas, do it fast and with cover, fire if possible. Tip number 5, pick smart fights. Not every fight is worth taking. Ask yourself these questions every time before you push. Do we have better position? Are we fully healed and together? Is there a chance of third party? This matters because jumping into bad fights costs you time, shields, and often your life. Another common mistake players make when they chase damage numbers or kills instead of focusing on survival and positioning. But how do I tell if a fight is bad? If you can't see all enemies or your team is split, it's usually something you should not do. Let other squads fight first, then clear up the winners. Here's a pro tip. Use grenades or abilities to soften enemy before pushing, like using a termite grenade will stun an enemy for a couple seconds, and you can easily take that time to shoot them. Tip number 6, use high ground and cover. High ground often gives you vision and shooting advantage. Always try to get above your enemies before a fight or rotate into positions with cover. This works because enemies have to expose themselves climbing or peeking up while you stay safer. A common mistake players make is standing in the open or behind poor cover that makes you an easy target and then you're dead. But what if the high ground isn't available? Use buildings, doors, rocks, any cover helps. Move unpredictably and jiggle peek instead of full swing. Tip number 7, stay calm in chaos. When fights get hectic, your mindset matters most. Panic leads to wasted ammo, bad positioning, and early death. Staying calm wins because controlled shots, proper use of cover, and smart healing means you survive longer. Another common mistake players make is when they panic and use ultimates too early and waste healing items in bad spots. But how do I stay calm? Practice breathing. And remember, it's just a game. Focus on small wins, landing a shot, surviving a fight instead of rushing to kill everyone instantly. Another thing you can do is review your gameplay. Watch where you died, what mistakes you made, and think about how to improve. This reflection is how players get better fast. So those are my tips to help you survive longer in Apex. Start applying these and you'll notice your games last longer. You'll start getting more wins. If this helped, drop a like and subscribe and comment below your biggest struggle in Apex. Catch you in the next one.